or standing in the project. Okay, so today we are looking at different approaches. Okay, you will be looking at how many different ways are used to develop VBS, work breakdown structure. The first terminology, a lot of you may be familiar with the term top-down approach, alternatively known as centralized approach. Okay, when the planning and VBA starts from the top level manager and then it ends at the lower level of management. Okay, let's say all those projects which are let's say government projects, because the ultimate power authority lies in the hands of top level managers, so they are the one who will take decisions about what project needs to be implemented, and they will be the one at the first level they will be identifying the major activities. Then at the second level or middle level managers, they will further divide the activities. At third level or operational level, activities will be further decomposed by inline managers. Okay, and they will create work packages at operational level, and these will be assigned to team members so that they can complete the project. So one thing should be kept in mind in top-down approach. It's a centralized type of approach. All the government, once if you want to implement any project, first you need to study the structure of the organization. For example, we've got centralized system, centralized style. We've got decentralized style. We've got a participative type of style in any organization. So looking at the structure of any organization, they will implement VBS, or when they want to develop VBS, they will be following approaches which fits their organizational structure. Okay, I'm giving you example of government projects if they want to implement, because they don't want to they centralized centralized type of management. So they don't want to distribute authority. They don't want to distribute the power. The power is in the hands of top level managers, and the top level managers gets middle level managers and lower level managers to complete these projects. Okay, the division, simply to put it simply or in a nutshell, when you're creating WPS, it will start from the top managers, top level managers, and it will end, at the bottom of the pyramid. That's operational level managers or lower level managers. Okay, so the approaches, the first approach you have learned, that is top-down approach. I hope these are clear, because we've studied already this in management. So I hope it's clear. Okay, so team approach here, when you're, because when you're going to develop work breakdown structure, so this VBS is taken place in the planning phase of project management. So the core team, the main team, will be hired. They will be, those core teams will be hired initially in the planning phase, and when they are going to develop VBS, each group will be given. Each team will contribute in development of WPS. For example, you have identified, electrical work, you have identified plumbing, excavate activities, external activities. So each activity will be given to relevant team members, because they know the nature of their activities. They know the characteristics of each activity. So decomposition will be easier for these groups. It will be easier for them to further divide them. Okay. So team approach says that all okay, team approach says that relevant, what we call, work should be handed over to relevant people, right job for the right team members. Because if if the work package is about electrical, okay, so being as a project manager, let's say, I will not be able to further decompose this because it's the job of electrician. They know that how to further divide them. Okay, so each team is given a relevant job, and their job is to decompose VBAs. Okay, so this is another approach: making teams and then assigning the relevant work package so that they can further divide the activities into small tasks, and get, completing those tasks will not be, it will be a piece of cake for them. Okay, that's exactly team approach. And in team approach, a lot of concepts are used, like synergy. Okay, synergy is a concept that two heads are better than one. Okay, or let's say 2 plus 2 5. Mathematically it's wrong, but when you are contributing in the team, okay, this definitely shows your productivity, right? 2 plus 2 5. This one, it must be 4, but why? The reason is why it's 5, because synergy is there. Okay, due to members of the team, they're contributing, and this contribution brings what we call extra benefits to the team, right, in form of productivity. And these people, these team members, they are knowledgeable, they are expert in their own field. So all the tasks related to them should be given to them so that they can further divide them, and they can, decompose, their specific part of VBAs. So that's all from the team approach. Okay. Sub-team approach is another concept that is derived from team approach. As you know, okay, respected students, as you know that this is linked with the team approach, but when the time is really crucial and very important, as you know that a lot of, in the market there's a lot of competition, and this competition is, let's say, cutthroat competition. Every person, every organization try to survive in the market. So the competition is based on time. Okay, so survival of the fittest. Any organization who responds to customer requirements earlier than competitors, they will be the market leaders. Okay, so when the time is crucial and you want to implement a project, in a very short time period, so sub-team approach is, sub-team approach is implemented for the development of VBS. Okay, in the sub-team, for example, you've got 5 teams who are responsible to complete the project. Signal card, maybe. Okay, when you've got, let's say you've got 5 teams to complete the project, but when you think that the time is making a big difference, okay, so these 5 team members will be further divided. Each team will be divided into 2. Now you've got 10 teams. Okay, so you want to speed up, project's activity, and you want to you want to implement the project by delivering a product or service to the market, because those organizations who do not respond to customer requirements on time, they are definitely going to lose battle to their competitors. So here, when the market is saturated, a lot of competitors are there, and you think that time is a crucial element. Time will decide whether I will beat my competitor or my competitor will beat me. So talking about technological products, okay, these technological products, if you see, iPhone, once the Apple company launches a project in form of providing, producing iPhone. Okay, so within 3 or 4 or 5 months, they will launch, the same product with different features in that, because they won't they the market requirements are continuously changing, and those organizations will survive who have the adaptability, what do you call, who have the adaptability sense in them. Okay, so sub-team approach is based on time. That time is premium. So if you've got previously team members, teams in the project, those teams will be divided. Okay, and this division take place in the planning phase of project management. We are creating VBS. Okay, I hope this is clear. Sub-team approach as well. Bottom-up approach is totally, it's the opposite of top-down approach. Top-down approach was specifically, when you want to implement a project, but you don't want to distribute the power, you don't want to distribute the authority, or you don't want to delegate them to the lower level. So that's called centralized form of centralized approach in creating of VBS. And the opposite is also true. Bottom-up approach is actually opposite of that. Here, let's say this is most of the organization, they are following now bottom-up approach, because gone are the days, when people did not want to distribute authority. So those days are gone where, when the top level manager did not want to distribute authority, power, but now the line managers or the lower level managers have been empowered, because they know they are the people who are close to customers. They can easily identify what are the customer needs and what are the customer wants. Okay, so they are more close to customers. So this approach is implemented in a sense that if top level managers, if they implement a project, maybe the project is not according to customer needs and wants. Okay, but a lot of organizations, they are switching their approach to bottom up, where these line managers are empowered with authority, delegation, and authority. Okay, the decision power is in the hands of lower level managers. So here, the opposite take place. The lower level managers, they will identify, they will do market analysis, they will find out what are the requirements in the market, what are the customer needs and wants. Then they will, let's say, then they will create VBS, and it will be shared with the middle level manager, and then it will be ultimately sent to the top level manager in order to get approval. Again, in order to get approval, so this must be shared with the top level manager. Once if there are no, if the plan is perfect, so they will release the funds. But at middle level of management and upper level of management, if they want to add something or subtract something, they can do it. But the reason is why it's going upwards. The ultimate purpose is to The ultimate purpose is to get approval from the top level manager. And this approach is definitely like brainstorming, okay? Brainstorming sessions. In entrepreneurship, you have learned these terminologies. These are, different tools to get idea from the customers. Brainstorming, focus group, problem inventory, analysis, and there are so brainwriting is another method by which you can get the ideas from the lower level from the customers. Okay, so you can say bottom-up approach is like brainstorming. Okay, you want to get ideas from the customers, and you will decide that what project is appropriate, and you will start developing VBS. Shared, it will be shared with middle level managers and top level managers. Okay, so it is completely opposite of top-down approach. Okay, I've given you additional learning material. If you want to further know, how these approaches are used to develop VBS, you can just click it. It's in fact one click away. I want you to be studying this as well, because is studying from home. This must be done by you. Okay. Okay. So now we have talked about VBS thoroughly. So how would you determine that the VBS that you have completed or developed is it successful one, or there are some drawbacks in the VBS? Okay, so the criteria, the success criteria for creating of VBS is also given here. Okay, once you create VBS, you should be finding the 6 characteristics. If you find in VBS that you have created, so you will consider VBS as a successful one. Okay, so what are these 6 different characteristics which are responsible for successful development of VBS? The first one is status or completion is measurable. Okay, the activities that you have decomposed in VBS, the status or completion is measurable. It must be, measurable in terms of percentage. It must be measurable in terms of budget that you have allocated. Okay, so I have shown to you in the example of construction of house VBS that each activity, major activities are divided into, they are given different percentages. Once you combine them, it will make 100% and the total budget. Okay. In addition, these activities that you have created in VBS, WBS, sorry, not VBS, WBS. So the starting time and the ending time of each activity, they are clearly defined. Okay, when the activity is going to start and when activity is going to finish. Because if you have starting point and no ending point, so we will say this is not a project, because a project has this characteristic that it is for temporary, right, time period. It has starting point and ending point. So the activities in WPS should also have starting point and ending point. Okay, this must be clearly defined in order to complete the project in the predetermined duration of time. Activity has a deliverable. Okay, in the project management, respected students, deliverable are known as output. Every time you are completing an activity in the project, it will have a deliverable, an output. This output serves as an input to other activities. Let's say, construction of the house. Okay. So in the construction of the house, the first activity is foundation. You want to create a base, a foundation for the house. So once you complete the foundation, the deliverable is in form of foundation. Foundation is completed. Based on foundation, you will be able to uh, build the walls around it. Okay? So every activity that you complete will give some sort of output or some sort of deliverable, which will be taken as an input by other activities. Let's say uh, uh, for example, you want to get admission in any university you want, okay? So the prerequisite is that you need to appear for the intertest. Okay, the intertest is one activity. If the intertest is passed, okay, it's gonna give, the output is there. Based on this output, you will get enrollment. You will be enrolled. You will get admission. So admission is dependent on the previous activity, that is intertest. So one activity is giving output, the other activity is waiting for the output of the first activity. Okay, so every time you're completing an activity, it must have an output. If it does not have an output, remaining activities will be left unfinished. And once you create work breakdown structure, time and cost, they are easily estimated because the big activities are decomposed into small activities. Now each tasks, you can clearly estimate that how much cost and how much time will be allocated to specific tasks. Okay, so cost estimation and time estimation is easy because VBS helps you to decompose complex activities into small tasks, and these tasks are the tasks cost and time estimations are easier. Okay. Okay, and activity duration is within acceptable limits. Acceptable limit simply means that it should be logical. Activities which require longer period of time to complete them, you should be assigning, longer period of time. Activities which can be completed in a shorter time of period, they should be given shorter time of period to complete them. It should not be like this, okay? You've got big activities, you are assigning small duration, okay? Or you have got small activities, you're assigning, a higher duration. So there should be a match between the activity based on activity characteristics. If activity is simple, okay, being as a project manager, you will assign shorter period of time, let's say 2 days or 3 days. If an activity is time consuming, you should be giving a lot of days to complete them. Okay, and these parameters should be set based on the characteristics of activity. Okay, so these are the 5 characteristics, respective students. If you have created a work breakdown structure, if you want to see whether it's been completed successfully, so all you need to figure out is to match or see these 6 characteristics in VBS. These will declare the VBS as complete, as successful, or your VBS may have deficiencies or drawbacks which needs to be taken care of. Okay. So inshallah, in the next class, respect students, I'll be talking about activity variances. Okay, now VBS is completed. How you will find variances? This variances is about schedule variance, cost variance, variance at completion. And the project management field, this variances analysis is known as earned value management. Okay, this is earned value management. Okay, this earned value management is a technique. It is responsible, it's responsible for cost, schedule, and project completion. You will be finding variances, what you have planned and what you have executed. You will be finding schedule variances, you will be finding cost variances, and you'll be finding variances at completion. Okay, and being as a project manager, you will be taking corrective steps in order to get back on the track. Okay, so these are formulas. On the other hand, inshallah, I'll be explaining these with the help of an example. And this is implemented in controlling phase of project management. Because in the controlling phase of project management, you want to compare your actual work with the planned work. Okay, you find deviation, you find differences, and then you take corrective steps in order to get back on the schedule, in order to control cost, and in order to control budget at completion. So I hope this is clear, and inshallah, we'll see you in the next class. But for now, if you've got any questions, please do let me know.